So a first official look at Jake, Devon, Lexy in Chucky Season 3 is out now with some extra news, info, and updates. Let's talk about it and let me explain. Now right here is our first official look at Jake, Devon, and Lexy in Chucky Season 3, and apparently, according to Critical Overload and NBC Universal, Devon, Jake, and Lexy will appear in the first episode of Chucky Season 3, and considering the fact that Chucky will be arriving or inside the White House with, I think his name's James, Charlotte, Grant, and Henry, the main characters inside of the White House, like the president and his family. Since we know Chucky will be with them in episode 1, this image and kind of the info kind of tell a bit of a story, if I'm right. So in the image, we basically have Lexy looking all concerned, Jake kind of looking a little maybe disgusted, confused, or kind of maybe also concerned. And we have Devon just standing there, maybe looking concerned, but a bit of blank face, maybe surprised. I don't know. But what are they looking at that has them so kind of starstruck? Or Lexy kind of looking a bit concerned, Jake looking the way he does, and Devon kind of looking the way he does. And also kind of mention, I really like Jake's outfit in this picture. I don't know. I feel like that's a shirt I would wear because I just like kind of the grungy black sweater type shirts and everything. Obviously, when it gets cold here in Florida, that'd be nice. Now it's fucking 80 degrees outside. Yeah, besides Jake's awesome look here, basically, what are they looking at? In my honest opinion, I could see them looking at maybe the president kind of giving a speech on TV or something like that. Maybe there's a kind of news update coming from the president saying oh, there was a murder at 1600 or 1600 or 16 or 1600, and there was some form of murder, some form of miss happening, because something will be happening, as we touched on last year. Something will be happening in the White House, a murder or something like that. We do see one of the secretaries or a character apparently maybe named Melanie getting their throat slit and everything, so there will be something that happens in there, and maybe this is at the end of the episode and they're kind of oh shit, because they shows the doll there and everything with Henry maybe holding the little kid Henry, the new cop Andy, Jake, Devon, Lexy are part of their new crew, Henry just holding the doll, and I'm going, oh shit, so that's what we're gonna have to that's gonna be what we're up against this season, is getting inside the White House to stop Chucky. Now, who they're with, I'm assuming Miss Fairchild, since that's who they were with at the end of season 2. Just kind of chilling with Miss Fairchild, living with her now, since obviously they don't exactly have anybody. All of them kind of are without any parents or anything. Maybe they have some extra family, Jake, Devon, Lexy may have some extra family, but as of right now, immediate parents, they don't have anybody. So likely with Miss Fairchild, and obviously Miss Fairchild might have to take them up to a road trip to Washington DC to do something about this, as they're seeing this now all concerned on the TV. Unless they're maybe seeing something else, maybe they get a package where it's severed hand or whatever, Ash from Evil Dead classic. But I don't know, maybe they get a package or some other thing from Chucky, or maybe Chucky's dead another one of his minions, or maybe they're just talking to Miss Fairchild and talking about going back to school. It really could be that simple. I don't know. It could be as simple as something like that, but because they are still in school, they are still kids and teenagers. Obviously, someone did say a long time ago that maybe season 3 will see them going into high school, a big time jump or a bit of a time jump, which could be very possible and everything, and also would explain the time it probably took for Chucky to get into the White House and all of those logistics. And even as NBC Universal and Critical Overload do say, they will be appearing in the first episode, which many such as myself were oh, are they going to be in the first episode? Which I'd be kind of fine with them not being in the first episode, getting to explore this new kind of family with the president of the United States, USA, although I feel like the season would have to be a lot longer if they were just to focus on mainly just the family, the president of the United States, James, Charlotte, Henry, and Grant, all of them, the president's family, the president himself, only in just one episode. So I feel like we will see Jake, Devon, and Lexy somewhere maybe maybe near the end, maybe at the beginning, but kind of 2 points I could see is maybe in the middle of the episode after we kind of just seen what's happening in the White House, and maybe just maybe near the end where they're kind of just all of that shit's gone down in the White House, and then at the very end we see Jake, Devon, Lexy, and it's oh shit, this is what we're gonna be up against in season 3 and all this. Who knows? I don't know. Also, another kind of funny theory I had on how they'll meet the president, kind of get into the president's house if they end up doing that and going that route with season 3, and how Jake, Devon, and Lexy could get in there, and maybe Miss Fairchild too, although she can maybe kind of role play as a bit of a journalist. Who knows? That would actually be pretty funny. But the theory I had for them was if they're in high school, and if they're maybe still in middle school, but mainly more in high school, or maybe in their older years of high school, is maybe what if they use, because a lot of the schools sometimes will have that thing where it's oh, you could do this project, or you could do this event in the school or involve the school to meet the president. So what if they did this project to be able to meet the president, and that's how they got to Chucky? Maybe they could go into the president's into the White House to meet the president and everything, and they end up killing Chucky, as Andy did and Kyle did to that one family in season 1, which would just be really funny. I don't know, just kind of a fun theory. And lastly, and after the fact, is kind of a bonus or extra theory as to what they are watching or seeing on the screen, or if they're even looking at a screen, is potentially Tiffany's arrest, or Jennifer Tilly's arrest, as it would be to the entire rest of the world. Because as we know, in season 3, like, you know, the police are closing in on Tiffany for her murderous rampage last season and season 2, and I guess kind of also in season 1, technically speaking of. And also, this could be how they find Caroline, or an aspect to the puzzle of how they get to Caroline, because I'm pretty sure they don't know exactly where she is, although Nika technically does, because she's watching the entire time. So maybe Nika will help get Caroline back to the kids. That's a whole nother can of worms I'll talk about in another video, so who knows. So yeah, that's all I really want to kind of talk about in today's video. It was kind of a short video because I just wanted, like, you know, look at this first official look at Jake, Devon, and Lexy, kind of just pick at some theories and just, like, you know, pick at some takes and just theories. So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about in today's video. What are your thoughts? Like, you know, kind of, what do you think Jake, Devon, and Lexy's kind of whole story will be, at least in the very beginning of the season, with, like, you know, obviously their goal is going to be to take down Chucky and, like, you know, stop Chucky, stop Tiffany and all that, although Tiffany might get arrested as we've heard so far. But what do you think their main story is going to be in, like, you know, the beginning of season 3? Like, do you think it's just going to be straight into it where it's like, we got to stop Chucky? Or do you think it's going to be maybe some high school stuff and everything, and kind of like, you know, like, will it just be normal kids stuff and everything, or is it going to dive right into it? Do you think there'll maybe be a time jump with, like, you know, them going right into high school and everything, or do you think it's going to, like I said, dive right into it? What do you think they're looking at in the image? Do you think it's just Miss Fairchild and them just kind of like, oh, this is our life now, school and everything? I feel like they'll just dive right into it because of obviously, like, you know, Caroline's missing and all of that. And or do you think they're looking at something Chucky maybe sent them, or maybe some, you know, kind of thing on the news against something Chucky sent them? Maybe Chucky himself, maybe another one of his, like, you know, minions or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. And does this photo get you hyped for season 3 and, like, you know, even more excited for season 3, like, and even with Jake, Devon, and Lexy's story? Because I'm very hyped and anything. It doesn't get you more excited, hyped for Chucky season 3, even episode 1 and the further of Chucky season 3. And yeah, what are your thoughts? As usual, also will be linked down below. Thanks for watching. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.